All you have to do is just start. You just have to start doing things, do something like a podcast, and make the videos from there.
We interrupt this program to bring you this important message. Welcome to Marketing Interruption, a daily podcast powered by BlueTuskr that interrupts your day with marketing news, tips and strategies from an entrepreneur who lives and breathes marketing. Now, let the interruption begin with your host, Andrew Maff.
Hello and welcome to episode number 3 of Marketing Interruption. I'm your host, Andrew Maff, and today I'm going to be talking about how you can expand your content to last you weeks on end. So this one is not like last week, not going to be as fluffy. Here we got some more tactical stuff. Obviously, I'm going to put all this stuff in the show notes. I'm going to reference some things. I'll make sure that you guys have links and stuff like there. But I kind of want to just explain how I create content and then how I just leverage basically the same content for weeks on end. And this is not new. A lot of you who may be listening to this may know this. The goal is for everyone to get to know this because this is simple. This is so easy and it costs basically nothing, and it's basically turning yourself into a media company. I mean, look at me, I have a giant fucking microphone in my house now. So it's really about creating a really good quality piece of content and then just chopping it up and sharing it out. Think of it like a big cake. You work all day to make this big cake, and then you just make that cake last for months. Same relative concept. So I'm just going to break down exactly how I do all this stuff. So 9 times out of 10, I create a video, 10 to 15 minutes. Let's actually use this podcast as an example because I'm basically doing the same thing here. So they're shorter, but normally 10 to 15 minutes is my nice sweet spot of whatever video I'm creating, whether it's a how-to or if it's an interview I'm doing or something like that. So you create video, 10 to 15 minutes. And I have notes here, so I'm going to keep looking at them. If you're listening on Spotify or iTunes or wherever you're at, you obviously can't see it. But if you're watching the YouTube channel, you can see I keep kind of glancing away. Ignore me. So you're going to make a 10 to 15 minute video. You're going to transcribe this video. Depending on where you do it, you can get this transcription done on rev.com. So it's my favorite. I think it's like $1.25 for every minute you do. So a 10 to 15 minute video is costing you no more than maybe $20. Every word that you said, obviously, you all know what a transcription is. Now you have all these keywords, you have everything in there. Then you're going to want to take that transcription, you're going to want to turn it into a blog post. So what I do, I take the blog post, put it into, I prefer HubSpot. I'm sure you'll hear me trigger them a lot, but WordPress, whatever your blog is. Take the transcription, put it directly into your blog. Take the video that you created and put it onto YouTube. Obviously, you're going to clean up YouTube. We'll go through SEO guidelines with that crap another time, but you're going to take that embed code and you're going to put that into the blog post. So now you have the video that you created and the transcription. You're going to take 10, 15 minutes, write 2, maybe 3 paragraphs of what that video is about and add that into the blog post as kind of an intro to the transcription. So now you've created a 10 to 15 minute video and you've created a blog post that if you did 10 to 15 minutes and you were talking the whole time, I would imagine you're well over 12 to 1,500 words for a blog post. Right now, we've spent a total of maybe 20 minutes to do all this. So you upload it into YouTube. Your other option, upload that video everywhere else you can get it that will take more long form content. So Instagram TV, chop it up, edit it so that you can flip it. So you can see with this podcast, what I'm doing is I kind of have the angle a little bit where I can actually have my video editor just kind of get here. So now it's much more thin. He can actually make it like a vertical video and I can upload it to IGTV and it'll work out just as fine. So now I'm in multiple different places. I'll keep this video the way it looks, upload it on YouTube. You can also upload it onto LinkedIn. You can upload it onto your own personal stuff, wherever else you want to put it. So now we have some social media content. So next, I made notes because I knew I was going to forget some of this. Oh, chopping up the video. So every time you have a video, if you're talking for 10 to 15 minutes, you're not on the exact same subject all the time. You're going to constantly tweak and you're going to kind of adjust around categories. So you're going to take little chunks of those categories you're talking about and chop up that video. Keep it to less than a minute. My personal preference is less than 30 seconds. So if you can get some good quotes out of 30 seconds, you take that, you put that's now your social post. You have 30 seconds, chop it up, do less than a minute for Instagram, it's the same, it could be the same thing on Facebook. It's my preference. Chop it up, get several of those. If you chop that up enough over a 10 to 15 minute video, you should probably have a good 5 or 6 different clips from that video. Have a video editor, throw in a bunch of cool stuff. You can have some things flying around behind you or whatever the hell it is you want to add, and you can always change that up. But that video, if you're posting every other day on social media, mix it in a little bit with some of your more timely posts or whatever else you're doing, and that social media post should now last you 3 weeks minimum, I would say, with the content that you've now had. Obviously, if you're using Facebook or you're using LinkedIn or something like that, you want to have the link go back to your blog post. Always drive traffic back to your website. If you're using Instagram, of course, go to the link in my bio, that kind of thing. So then the other thing that you'll want to do, this is a bit of a bonus outside of that. So we've created a very long video. We have created a very long blog post for the most part. You'll have to obviously make sure it's all SEO friendly and stuff like that. We've created social media content now for several weeks. So now the other thing that you're going to want to do is you want to get it out there. And one of the things I always like to do that I always make sure I do is I tell someone when I've mentioned them before. To give you an example, yesterday I mentioned the Harmon brothers. You bet your ass I'm going to tweet them and tell them that I reference them in the podcast, and maybe I'll get lucky. It's that kind of thing. So you're going to want to always reference and tweet at the people or send them an email and let them know that they were mentioned in your video, and obviously this will start to grow. This is outside of the video creation, the video content anyway that you've created. But essentially now you have created a 10 to 15 minute video, a very long blog post, and you've had a ton of social media content. This took you, on average, your own personal time. Let's say 15 minutes for the video. Let's say scheduling the blog post yourself. Maybe you're still doing that. So you're doing 5, let's say another 20 minutes. And then you have a video editor who is probably chopping up the video, which once you do these videos once and you chop them up once, keep those. Use them as a template. Just switch out the video file and it'll take him, or her, less than an hour or however long it's going to take him. So basically now you have spent an hour, maybe. Your video editor has spent maybe an hour. Depending on where you find your video editor, I'm a big Upwork fan. Find them from there. You're finding someone in the hour from the Philippines. You're spending maybe $10, $15. And then your transcription, which is probably $20. So you made this massive piece of content that lasted you several weeks, and it only cost you, $30, give or take. If you can hammer out one of those videos once a week, you will have content forever. And all you have to do is just start. You just have to start doing things, do something like a podcast, and make the videos from there. But that is all I wanted to go over for today. The featured tool that I'm going to obviously start doing, and I forgot to do yesterday, but it is what it is. Today is Rev.com. I prefer Rev.com. I've used them forever. You can just take the video file, throw it into Rev.com, and they'll email you the transcription. It, to me, is the easiest way to take visual content and turn it into written. But again, thank you for joining. Please rate, review, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you have any questions you want me to go over at any point, please email me at marketinginterruption@BlueTuskr.com, and I will see you all tomorrow.
Thank you for joining us for today's Marketing Interruption. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show. And don't forget to email marketinginterruption@BlueTuskr.com with any marketing questions you'd like to have answered on the show. And head over to marketinginterruption.bluetuskr.com to catch up on past episodes. Until next time, we now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.